basically a public holiday, and we have it kind of. There's like 2 in May. It's basically like you have a Monday off, so it's nice. You get a long weekend, which is always very welcome. And yeah, so I just thought I'd fill you guys in on what I'd been up to. Actually, I didn't really do that much, but I was watching something on TV this morning, which was kind of cool. Well, it wasn't cool, but just interesting. It was a rundown of the 100 greatest family movies, and it had some of my favourite old movies in that I had just completely forgotten about, you know, when you used to watch loads of kind of old films, kids films and family films, when you were little, and then you just completely forget about them. And yeah, there was some on there. I mean, there was the obvious ones like The Sound of Music and Mary Poppins and Lassie. But I mean, I never actually liked Lassie. Sorry, Lassie fans, but I was never really into that. And Annie, and you know, there's all of those. But then there was some on there that I just totally forgotten about. Like there was Little Women, which is the film version with Winona Ryder as is it May, March? Yeah, I think May. The main character in Little Women. I haven't read the book for years, so I've got a feeling it's May though. And then it's Claire Danes as Beth, and then a very young Kirsten Dunst as Amy March, and then a girl who I can never remember the actress' name, and I actually don't think she's done much since, but she played like the oldest sister. Meg, was it? And then there was Susan Sarandon as the mum. So it was a really good cast. Oh, and Christian Bale was actually in it as well. He played, I think he was their neighbour, who proposes to May, but she turns him down. But yeah, Christian Bale was in it. Laurie, his name is in it. I really like him in that film. It was kind of when, back in the day, when Christian Bale wasn't Batman and kind of didn't just talk like this, and you know, actually he almost whispers when he talks. I only noticed that because it was really hard to do the Batman voice when I was whispering. Yeah, so it was quite nice to be reminded. I might actually go find that DVD, or buy the DVD. I think I have the VHS somewhere, but I don't even have a VHS player anymore, so kind of pointless. But yeah, it's a really, really lovely film, and it's a great book, by Louisa May Alcott. Yeah, and then there was, what else was there? There was Holes, which you will hopefully be aware of now, as I've been reading the book, but that film was on there. It was cool. They had an interview with John Voight, who is probably best known for being Angelina Jolie's dad, but he plays Mr. Sir in the film, and he's really good. Actually, I don't really know much that he's done in film. I know he's like done loads and like hundreds of films, but the only things I really know him in are like Mission Impossible and kind of the bigger films he's been in recently. But yeah, Holes, he actually did a really good job. He was really, really funny. Just kind of a complete psycho basically, but in a really funny way, because obviously it's meant to be a kids film, and yeah, so he kind of finds that great balance of still kind of making the adults laugh and also making them feel uneasy. Like he's quite clearly slightly sadistic in the film, and it's good, that he manages to do that. But then the kids that are watching the film are not utterly terrified. Yeah, so that was there as well, which was good. It's good to see kind of newer films and quite unusual films. Like Holes is not a typical kids film or typical family film at all. Like there are some images in it. I mean, there are some messages in it and some scenes in it that are actually quite awful, you know. I mean, there's the obvious. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who wants to watch it, but you know, there's some of the scenes with Kate kissing Kate Barlow or Catherine Barlow that are really awful, and yeah, so it's kind of interesting, you know. That made the list. I didn't actually see the whole list because I literally would have been in all day if I'd watched all the programme. But I saw some of it. And the other thing that was on there was Gremlins. And I'm sure most of you have seen Gremlins, or if you're kind of around your early 20s, then you probably have. It's such a funny film. I loved Gremlins when I was little. I always wanted Gizmo as my pet. Surprisingly enough, my parents never got me a gremlin. Yeah, but that was on there as well. And then, oh, The Goonies was on there, which is such a good film. I love The Goonies. God, that, you know, it was such a good film, you know, so funny, and it was really, you know, Steven Spielberg produced it, and I think it was Robert Zemeckis. I've got that in my head that he directed it, but I might be wrong actually. But yeah, it's just such a funny film, and you know, great cast again. It's kind of telling that, you know, a lot of really famous people make their names, or you know, in some of these films, and you know, those films are remembered. Like, you can tell there must be something really special, you know. I mean, whether it's, you know, Little Women, who's got that great cast, or even Holes, which has got like the main character in it is played by a very, very young Shia LaBeouf, or LaBeouf as he calls himself, and you know, it's kind of, yeah, it's really, you know, yeah, kind of really interesting because yeah, like The Goonies has got like, oh, I can never remember his name, but he's done loads of things afterwards. He was in Lord of the Rings. He played Sam, I think, in Lord of the Rings. And it had like, who else? God, I can't actually think. Oh well, it had Corey Feldman. And then it had, oh, I can never remember his name, but he's been in loads of things. He plays the older brother, Brandon, in The Goonies. I know you will be shouting this actor's name at me now, but I can't remember his name. Yeah, so The Goonies was quite high on the list. That's such a good film. You know, like, there are just some films that you could just watch over and over and over again. Yeah, and you never get tired of it. And The Goonies, for me, is definitely one of them. Yeah, and there were so many films on there, obviously, but yeah, there were just a few that stood out. Yeah, so I think I'll probably be doing a trip to HMV or Virgin or something. Or actually, there's no thing as Virgin Megastore anymore. But yeah, to pick out some DVDs, probably like £2 or something. So yeah, I'll go and pick up some of them. I'm sure there's lists designed to do that, you know. I'm sure, like I noticed actually today that there were a couple of Film 4 movies on that list, which